So, in the previous class, we were discussing the various types of surge tanks, siphon tubes, and the concept of water hammering. Now, coming on to the next topic, we have the minor energy losses, or you can say the minor head losses. So, we have read in the previous classes that whenever there is a loss of energy due to the frictional forces in between the layers of the liquid and in between the inner surface of the pipe and the layers of the liquid, then that energy loss falls in the category of the major energy loss. So, uh, that is the larger loss or the major loss is only due to the frictional force in between the layers and the surface of the pipe. Whereas, whenever there is any change in the size of the pipe, there is sudden if any change in the flow of the pipe, if there is any obstruction maybe there in between the pipe, the flow of the liquid, or there may be any uh, loss of head at the entrance of the pipe or loss of head at exit of the pipe, or you can say there may be any bend in the pipe, or if you have installed any pipe fitting in between the pipe. So these are the causes due to which there may be minor loss of head while the fluid is flowing from entry to exit within the pipe. So the losses that occur in the pipelines due to the bend, due to elbows, due to pipe fittings, due to the sudden enlargement of the pipe, that is sudden increase in the diameter of the pipe, as in the case of the diverging nozzle, or uh, the loss of head due to the sudden contraction, that is it is becoming in the converging shape, the diameter is reducing. So basically the loss of energy that is being encountered due to the change in the velocity of the flowing fluid, that is we are encountering with the variation of the velocity as well as the direction of flow of fluid. So this is known as the minor loss of energy. So minor loss of energy includes the following heads, that is loss of head due to sudden expansion, due to sudden contraction, due to any obstruction or any dust particles within the flow of fluid, or we are having any loss of head while the fluid is entering into the pipe, while the fluid is leaving that pipe, and whenever there may be any bend in the pipe, that bend may be due to some unintentional accident or due to some uh, corrosiveness or wear and tear of the pipe. And last but not the least is the due to the pipe fitting, that is whenever you are joining the pipe, as I have told you in the previous class, that pipes always comes in the standard sizes in the market, that is the pipes maybe comes in the size of 3 feet, 6 feet, or 9 feet. But if you have to transport the water from one end to other end, and the distance between two ends is, let us say, is 8 feet, so you have to join the two pipes, and for joining these two pipes, we always need the pipe fittings. That pipe fittings uh, have the example of, let us say, they comes in the shape of elbow shape, they come in the shape of T shape. That is while you have to transfer the water from one end to the two ends. That is that these two ends are uh, always right angle to the receiving end. Then you can use the T-shaped pipe. But if you want to transmit the water only from the one end to other end and they are at 90-degree angle apart, then you can use the elbow pipe fitting. So due to the installation of pipe fittings in between the pipes, whenever there is a necessity that we cannot transport the water from one end to other end without installing the pipe fitting in between the pipes, or while you have to couple the pipes in such a situation, then there is always some loss of energy whenever the water is being transported from one end to other end. So we'll study these kinds of minor losses. So you can see in the figure that in the first figure, you can see the diameter initially from point A, B, and C, the diameter is constant. That is somewhat larger as compared to the points from D, E, and F. The diameter at D, E, and F is somewhat smaller as compared to the diameter at A, B, and C. So there is sudden contraction of the pipe, and hence you can see, according to continuity coefficient of flow, as soon as the area reduces, the velocity will increase. So I have told you that while there is any loss of energy due to the change of velocity, that is its magnitude as well as its direction. So here also, as the diameter is decreasing, you can see from A to C the diameter is constant, whereas D to E's diameter is also constant. But whenever we are moving from point C to D, the diameter is reduced. So if the diameter is reduced, the area is reduced, and hence the velocity will increase. So whenever there is an increase in the velocity, there is increase in the kinetic head. So it will result in some loss of energy due to this contraction. So whenever we are transporting the water from this case, in this case, let us see the water is moving at a velocity of 5 meter per second. But as soon as it will reach the point D, the velocity will increase, let us say, to 8 meter per second. So that increase in the velocity is due to the decrease in the diameter, because area is inversely proportional to the velocity. That is, if the diameter is reducing, so on, obviously the area is reducing. And hence the velocity will increase as soon as the water will flow from point C to D, because there is sudden contraction in the pipe. So there is no gradual decrease in the diameter of the pipe. There is a sudden contraction in the pipe. So therefore, there is a loss of some head, because initially when the water is being transported from point A to C, it is having kinetic energy as well as pressure energy. But as soon as it is being sent from point C to D, the whole of pressure energy and the kinetic energy is converted into the single form of energy, that is the kinetic energy. And whenever the total energy, which was the sum of pressure energy and kinetic energy initially from point A to C, is converted into kinetic energy at point D, then there is some part of energy that may be lost while conversion from two forms of energy, that is pressure and kinetic, into the single form of energy, that is kinetic energy. And whenever it is converting, there is some loss of energy. So this loss of energy is termed as the energy loss in due to the sudden contraction of the pipe. So sudden contraction is helps in increasing the velocity of the flow, but it is decreasing the pressure energy, or sometimes the pressure energy die out, and that some part of the energy is also lost in the form of the head. So this is termed as the energy loss due to the sudden contraction of the pipe. Similarly, if you can see the second figure of the slide, that this is showing the energy loss due to the sudden expansion of the pipe. So you can see from point B to C there is sudden increase in the diameter of the pipe, and whenever the water is being moving from point A to B, it is being seen that the water is having the sum of kinetic energy as well as the pressure energy. But as soon as the water is being moved from point B to C, the kinetic energy is being converted into the pressure energy, because here the diameter is increasing, the area is obviously will increase, and according to continuity equation of flow, the area is inversely proportional to the velocity. So area is increasing, so velocity will automatically decrease. So if the velocity is decreasing, so on, the kinetic energy will be decreased here. So in the case of the this case, whenever the water is being flown from point B to C, there is a sudden increase in the diameter of the pipe, and hence it will be results in the decrease in the kinetic energy, and some part of that energy is being lost in the form of the head. So this is called the energy loss due to the sudden expansion of the pipe. So the formula is always there's a variation of the velocity, that is the velocity which was, or the velocity head, that is the kinetic head at the entry point, that is v1 square by 2g, and at the exit point it always be less as compared to the entry, because the diameter has increased, the area has increased, and so on, the velocity will automatically will be decreased. So the kinetic head will be always be equal to v1 square by 2g minus v2 square by 2g. That is, we will get the difference between the kinetic head. That is the loss of head due to the sudden expansion of the pipe. Next is we are having the loss of head due to the bend in the pipe, or due to the some installation of pipe fitting. So you can see in the first figure that whenever you are transporting the water from one end to other end, and these two ends are apart at 90-degree angle. So whenever these angles are 90-degree apart, these points are 90-degree apart, and you're transporting the water from point A to B, and hence we have to install a elbow pipe fitting in between these two pipes. And whenever the water is being transported from one end to other end, this is here there may be generation of turning waves, in between the flow of fluid, because the flow has to move in the right angle direction. As soon as it is coming from point, let us say this point is A, this is B, where the bend is being there, and this point is C. So whenever this point water is being flown from point A to B, it is moving in the single direction. But as soon as it has to take on the right hand side or onto the left hand side, there may be generation of some turning waves due to the collision of some particles, because the water has to turn its direction, has to move its direction from one end to other end, and there may be generation of some turning waves. And due to these turning waves, there may be some collision of particles of the layers of the fluid. Due to this collision of layers of water, there may be generation of some turning waves, and hence there is some loss of energy. So we will not get the actual amount of energy that is being transmitted from the inlet. We will always be getting the less energy at the outlet of the pipe. Similarly, you can see in the second figure, that is where there may be some bend, that bend may be some unintentional accident that may occur in the industry, or there may be some due to the reason of transporting the water at some acute angle. So we have to bend that pipe at the particular acute angle, and whenever you are transporting the water from the one end to other end, and that end is being apart at some acute angle, you can see the outside of the bend and inside of the bend. So due to the this flow of fluid, there is always be, similarly in the case of the, as that in the case of the pipe fittings, the water particles or the fluid particles will collide with each other, and they are being generating the turning waves, and hence there is always a loss of head in the energy, because the water is being flowing, there is only single form of energy is there, that is called the kinetic energy, or you can say kinetic head is there. And whenever you want to find out the loss of head, that will be always be equal to v square by 2g, that is loss of kinetic energy into the loss of band, that is the band of constant. So loss of energy band due to that is constant. So it will be equal to kV into v square by 2g. So this kV is basically the coefficient of band, and v square by 2g, you all know that is the kinetic head. Next is the energy losses due to the obstruction of the pipe. Let us say the fluid is flowing from one end to other end, and there may be some dust particles or the smaller stones may be left in the fluid when it is flowing from one end to other end, and that flow or that stone or dust particle may be having some unsymmetrical area. So that area may be calculated, and due to this area, there is some obstruction to the flow of fluid, and there may be some resistance to the flow of fluid. So whenever the fluid is flowing from certain ends, there may be some obstruction in the pipe, and that obstruction is resisting the flow of fluid from one end to other end. So that is the formula for obstruction, that is A by Cc into A minus A into V square by 2G. So that is the that A is the area of the pipe, capital A is the area of the pipe, and A is that is the smaller A is the maximum area of the obstruction that is being considered, which is hindering the flow of fluid, and capital V is the velocity of the liquid in the pipe. And this loss of energy occurs whenever there is any hindrance or any resistance to the flow of fluid. So this hindrance will always cause an contraction of the area of flow. So let us say that area of the pipe is initially was, whenever there was no obstruction in the pipe, the area was 20 meters square, or let us say it is 20 centimeters square. So whenever you are experiencing any hindrance or any obstruction of any dust particles or the smaller stones within the flow of fluid, then that area may be reduced. So it will cause the contraction of the area of flow, which will be followed by the enlargement when the obstruction is being passed. So suddenly the area is decreased, the area of the flow is decreased, and as soon as it has passed the obstruction, the area will be again increased. So it may be become the case of the sudden contraction initially, and then it will become the sudden expansion. So there will be loss of energy, loss of head due to this obstruction, which may be present in between the fluid particles. So next is the loss of head at the entrance of the pipe. So whenever the fluid is entering from one end to other end, and the pipe is being starting and that this loss of energy that occurs when the liquid enters into the pipe from a tank, or let us say large reservoir, then that loss is similar to the loss of head due to the sudden contraction, because the tank or the reservoir may be having some larger diameter, and the pipe from which the water is to be transmitted is having the smaller diameter as compared to the area or the diameter of the tank or the reservoir. So it becomes the case of the loss of head due to the sudden contraction in pipe. So the formula is, that is HI is equal to zero point 0.5 into V square by 2G. That V is here is the velocity of the liquid in the pipe, and zero point 0.5 is the factor which is being multiplied by the this kinetic head. Next is the loss of head at the exit of the pipe. So this loss is basically due to the reduction in the kinetic head or loss of kinetic head at the exit of the pipe. As soon as the water is being flown from one end to other end of the pipe, and at the last end of the pipe when the water is being flown from the or exiting or leaving that pipe, then there will be no kinetic energy left in the fluid. So due to the loss of that velocity, due to the loss of that kinetic energy of the liquid at the exit of the pipe or at the outlet of the pipe, it is being dissipated either in the form of the free jet, or it is lost in the tank or the ground where it is being thrown. So it is denoted by H naught is equal to V square by 2G, where H naught is the loss of head at the outlet, or you can say loss of head at the exit of the pipe, because a whole of the kinetic energy when the water is being flowing from within the pipe, it is having some kinetic energy, and due to that kinetic energy it is being flowing, and after whenever it is being uh, exiting at the last end or at the outlet of the pipe, the velocity of the liquid at the outlet of the pipe is being dissipated either in the form of the free jet, or it is lost in the tank or the reservoir, or at the ground level where it is being flown. So the kinetic energy is basically reduced, or it suddenly comes out to be zero. So due to this, there is some loss of energy in the head. So next is the, so this is the loss of head we have already done, that is the loss of head due to bend in the pipe. So this was these were the various types of losses that were to be studied in the case of the minor losses topic. So moving on to our next chapter, that is we are having. So can you see fifth chapter slide?
No, sir, not yet.
So I am again presenting you. So coming on to our next chapter, that is we are having fifth chapter of our syllabus, that is called the hydraulic machines. So what is hydraulic machine? So we are, you came to know in the previous classes, or you have studied in the previous semesters also, that is the machine is basically a device that is reducing the human effort and increasing the efficiency of the work. So similarly, in the workshop also you have seen the various types of machines which are totally dependent on the electrical energy, or you can say the electricity. So the main power source was the electric energy, that is being the source through which they are being running, or they are being performing the particular type of operation on the specimens. But we are nowadays our machines are being we are moving on to the industry 4.0 era, and hence we have to move on to the hydraulic machines, that is the machine which is having a liquid pressure, or the liquid acts as a medium for transmitting the force, or generating the power by creating the high pressure, and these are being referred to as the hydraulic machine. So that is the machine which is totally dependent on the hydraulic oil or the hydraulic liquid, which is being used for transmitting the force from one end to other end, and it is generating the high power by compressing its hydraulic oil, and hence it is reducing the human effort and increasing the efficiency of the work. So you must have seen the hydraulic jack on the uh, car repair shop. You can see you have must have seen the hydraulic lift in your uh, larger buildings. You must have used the hydraulic brakes in your automobiles. You must have used hydraulic press, or you must have seen that hydraulic press in the case of the larger industrial units. Hydraulic accumulator is also there, which is being used to store the larger amount of hydraulic energy, and it is being used to transmit that larger hydraulic energy to the other end whenever it is being possible. And the last one we'll study in that will be the hydraulic ram. So